Hey there, and welcome to the Contentment Creator Podcast, the show designed especially for creative entrepreneurs just like you who are committed to a beautiful life that's rooted in courage and contentment, and that's blooming with creativity and prosperity. I'm your host, Ellen Broen, a certified life coach, a singer, a mother, and a lover of alliteration, dogs, and deep conversation. This show is designed to become a part of your daily routine to help you, fellow contentment creator, dig deep, to clarify your life vision, catalyze your creative flow, and fuel your entrepreneurial fire in just a few inspiring minutes each day. Each Tuesday, we talk about creativity, and today's episode is all about the push and pull of our creativity and our parenthood. How can we honor our creativity while navigating the all-consuming demands of parenthood? And could our children actually make us more creative? Parenting and creativity can feel like they're in constant competition for our energy and time, but they're also deeply connected. Parenthood challenges us to stretch our imaginations, embrace resourcefulness, and see the world with fresh eyes, qualities that are foundational to creative work. Today, we're diving into the dynamic relationship between parenting and creativity, the tug-of-war that leaves us feeling torn, and the unexpected synergy that fuels our inspiration. Let's explore how to navigate these two loves, honor both, and maybe even find some magic in the overlap. Now, from my perspective, as a mother who went through a very traumatic, life-threatening postpartum period, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that the experience of becoming a parent can be all-consuming, leaving no space or flow for new ideas. Many describe the first year of parenthood as pure survival, and I wouldn't disagree. But I would say that while my energy, time, and drive to create were greatly diminished, my creativity was alive and well. It burgeoned, in fact. At about 3 months postpartum, a book concept came to me out of the blue, along with a full outline of chapters and an overall story arc. About 4 months postpartum, I quite literally dreamed up an original melody and wrote the introduction of a song for my debut album as a singer-songwriter. About 6 months postpartum, the name and vision of this podcast came to me after years of brainstorming, working with content strategists and branding experts, and struggling to shape my message into a brand identity and creative product. Parenting is often viewed as the antithesis of creative work. After all, how can you write, record, or innovate when you're managing a mountain of new and old responsibilities while recovering from the physical toll and reinventing your life? The struggle is real. As creatives, we can feel torn between two loves, the love for creation and the love for our children. The Atlantic describes this tension perfectly. Quote, "Parenthood shifts priorities and schedules, often leaving little room for uninterrupted creative time." End quote. As a result, many parents, particularly mothers, feel a deep sense of guilt when they carve out time for creative pursuits. There's this societal pressure to be endlessly selfless, as if any act of pursuing your passions is somehow taking away from your kids. But here's the thing. When we neglect our creative selves, we risk losing touch with who we are outside of parenthood. Creativity isn't just something we do. It's how we process, heal, and make sense of the world. And when we honor that part of ourselves, we show up for our kids as fuller, happier people. On the flip side, parenting doesn't just demand our creativity, it inspires it. Parenthood reshapes our worldview, pushing us to think in ways we never would have before. A blog from the Institute for Family Studies highlights that motherhood often sparks a creative renaissance, even if it looks different than before. Children have a way of bringing us back to the basics of wonder and imagination. They remind us how to play, dream, and see the world through fresh eyes. For many parents, myself included, the challenges of parenthood can fuel new creative endeavors. Sleep deprivation and endless diaper changes may not sound inspiring, but they force us to be resourceful. Whether it's writing about our experiences, building a business that accommodates our new family life, or simply learning to play again with our children, Parenthood often generates an entirely new well of creative energy. The immensely talented Lin-Manuel Miranda has often credited his parenting journey with teaching him to use his time more intentionally. As he put it, you get really good at writing in the 15 minutes between feedings. Parenthood doesn't erase creativity. It refines and refocuses it. So how do we balance the demands of parenthood with the pull of our creative passions? Number 1, reframe your guilt. This is one I'm wrestling with myself as I record this episode. So take heart from someone practicing right alongside you. Creativity isn't taking something away from your kids. It's modeling something for them. When they see you pursuing your passions, they learn that it's okay to nurture their own. Multidisciplinary storyteller Britt Teasdale writes, "A parent's creativity doesn't just benefit the parent, it enriches the entire household." Number 2, integrate creativity into your family life. Creativity doesn't have to exist in isolation. Find ways to involve your kids in your process. Whether it's letting them paint beside you, brainstorm ideas, or simply watch you work. These moments teach them that creativity is valuable. As someone who uses technology as part of my writing and musical process, I'm still trying to find ways to do this that don't involve screen time for me or my child. But even that challenge offers me a creative way to experiment with my process. Number 3, protect your time. While integration is great, solo creative time is still essential. This might mean setting up childcare, waking up earlier, or giving yourself permission to prioritize creative time like any other non-negotiable. The relationship between parenting and creativity often isn't easy. It's messy, unmeasurable, and sometimes downright maddening. I'll leave you with a visual metaphor to take with you into this week. Balancing parenthood and creativity can feel like an hourglass, where our sands of time and energy are constantly flowing from one role into the other. When you tip it too far in one direction, the other side runs dry. Our challenge is learning to flip the hourglass to ensure both sides get filled up by the other. So embrace the imbalance, honor the flow, and remember, you're not choosing between being a parent and being a creator. You already are both. In that oneness is where the magic flows. Thank you for being here with me today. Tune in tomorrow for an episode all about building the village you really need to thrive as a parent. If you enjoyed today's episode, please show your support by leaving reviews and comments. It would truly mean the world to me to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a day, and join me in my mission to help a world full of content creators become a world of contentment creators.